What's up, guys? Hey, I'm gonna go over some of the parts that I used in my turbo build for the 300 here. I'm getting a lot of questions on my setup and what parts I used, so I'm gonna run over that really quick. Start off, it's a LQ4 6-liter stock bottom end 5.3 799 pistons. Got a Holley fuel pump sending unit assembly here. It's a drop-in unit, comes with dual 450s. Should be good for I think 1,000 to 1,300 horsepower on E85. I got a -8 PTFE line supply, PTFE-6 return. Up there I've got a flex fuel sensor on the left and my 10 micron post pump fuel filter, which you have to have when you go EFI. So this guy is a Borg Warner T6 S475. I think this is a tile 50 mil blow-off valve. It's not actually a blow-off valve, it's called a recirc valve. So when I lift off the throttle and you hear that rush of air, that's this opening up, letting the boost bypass the intake, and it actually gets redirected into my air filter tube, which is up inside the car here. So on the engine, I think they're on 3 billet fuel rails. Nothing too special there. Snake Eater 1000 injectors, which on this setup I made 750 wheel horsepower at like 73% injector duty cycle, and my base fuel pressure is set at 58 psi, so I have some more room to grow. Down there at the bottom you can't really see my manifold, but I got twin precision 46 millimeter wastegates. Probably don't really need to, but I would rather play it safe than sorry. So it's ugly, but it works really well. If any of you guys have questions on turbo stuff or how I did my setup, feel free to send me a message. I'll try and help you guys. Oh, one more thing. Air to water intercooler. Air to air intercoolers work and they're cheap, but on a mud truck, I mean, you know, we have a hard enough time keeping our radiators clean, let alone air to air. So I run air to water, and then in the back of the truck, right next to the fuel cell, 16-gallon fuel cell, 16-gallon tank, just has some coolant in it, and then I've got a 12-volt water pump. When I start hitting boost or a certain throttle percentage, the pump kicks on and circulates this warm water, or room temperature, whatever it is. I can put ice in it, ice it down if I want. Goes from the back to the front, into the intercooler right there, and then it's kind of hard to see behind my grill here, but then there's also a heat exchanger for that cools the water back down before it goes back to the ice tank. It was kind of just a redundant feature that I added. Not really necessary, but you know, this thing runs a long time and I usually don't ice the tank, so I wanted to make sure that I had the added capacity. Big shout out to Brandon Stevens. He's the one that sent me all the video today that I'm using on this video from this weekend. So if you have any more questions about turbo stuff, feel free to shoot me a message or comment on the video. Oh yeah, and hey, if you're wondering about these tires, D&D Paddy tire, see Don? They're a 40 by 20 by 20. In this configuration, they actually measure about 43 tall and about 19.5 wide.